Hey, it's Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com. A lot of times I get questions about the community part. How do you create a great community in your business? And it's actually not that hard. I mean, there's a million things that you can do, and I'm certainly not going to give you a million, but I am going to give you some of the fundamental things that are most important, because the community is one of the more powerful things that you have to offer. And it is also part of the glue in your business, because let's face it, people are not loyal in life to money. They're not loyal to products. They're not loyal to companies. They're loyal to people. That's what you're loyal to. And so a powerful community is something that creates a strong sense of belonging and togetherness, where people don't want to leave it. They want to be a part of it. And so, yeah, you got a great product or service, you got a great business model or whatever you're doing. But if you don't recognize and foster the power of your community, you are missing the biggest glue factor that you have. And so there are all kinds of aspects. I'm going to give you 3 specific nuggets here today. But first, just a general thing. Respect. Respect has to be there in a huge way. And in other words, you want everyone to feel welcome. You want everyone to feel like there's a place for them. You don't put down people's jobs. You don't put down the fact that people have a job. I see people do this in the network marketing world all the time. And frankly, it's stupid. It's just a stupid thing to do. You don't tell people they're dumb to have a job. That's not your place to tell someone whether they should or shouldn't do something. There are people that love their job, absolutely love it. You should want them to love it. You should want them to look at your community and your work as a way to help them even in that, right? And not to mention, they might want to continue doing their job even if they make a lot of money because they enjoy doing it. That's awesome. And you should respect that, right? Help them do better. It's their choice. That should be embraced, not put down. And so there's the key thing, overarching though, to me is respect. And then of course, value. There's got to be value in the community. And so people need to feel good in it. That's the beauty of it, is a network marketing community. If it's done right, that means it's got to have the right leadership and the right culture. But you're going to have people like, wow, I really like being here, because it encourages them and supports them and inspires them. It makes them feel good. That's what people want, right? That's what they want. So here's 3 things. Here's 3 things to make sure are consistent in the community. One is that people need to feel loved for who they are, no matter what their circumstances. And so what I mean by that is life happens to people, right? So you're going to have lots of people come into your business, come into your community who really want to succeed, really want to grow, which first of all is a hurdle to start with, because people have to grow through their stuff, right? They got all that mental noise going on, telling themselves that, this can't happen for me, or I'm not good enough, or whatever they're going through. But besides that, right, even working through that space, and you never know, right? I mean, just recently, a young man who'd been working at kind of growing into doing the business for, I don't know, 8 months, 10 months, and maybe it sponsored 1 or 2 people in that period of time, sponsor 5 people in a week, right? Why? Because he grew into it, right? But he couldn't have without being in the right community. So yes, you got all that, but you also have life happens, and this is the key. This is a huge one. Life happens to you, and it happens to the people in your community, right? So they got every intention, they're working at growing, and then what happens? Something happens in their family, or happens to them, right? Maybe someone gets sick, or someone gets married, or I call them the 8 interrupters. There's a bunch of different things, that something goes wrong in their job, or there's many things that are major life happening events, an accident, right? That can just wipe someone out of productivity for a while. You got to make sure that those people know that you love them, you care for them. And it's just not about can they bring money in, it's about the human being. If you care about the human being, the rest will take care of itself in the time that it should. And so you got to love them through the life happening things, and let them know that's okay. So they're not like dealing with guilt because they're not active, right? But they're welcome. They got to be welcome. Next is you got to be careful that you don't over promote just the big stories. In other words, in your community, celebrate small successes. Why? Because that is going to connect with the majority of the community, right? Just the majority of the community will relate to that. They're not going to relate to the big stories, right? I mean, you very rarely, matter of fact, you'll never hear me, right, talk about a lot of the big stories, ever. Never in a community, never in some type of big training. I might mention where they started and the struggles they went through as they worked their way into developing into a big story. But I don't stand up there and go, oh, look, they made $7 million last year. I don't do that. Why? Because that just doesn't help anybody. But man, I will celebrate that person who sponsors their first person or their second person or gets their first customer. Yeah, then they feel that you celebrate everybody. Everybody feels like, wow, yes, that's awesome. I can do that too. And I want that, right? So that makes it a community of inclusion where everybody feels important and valued because they're celebrated even for the small successes. And then the third thing is you value their goals. And this goes right in line with what I just said. 80% of your community is not going to have big goals, right? They're not going to have big goals. And that's fine. You need to value and appreciate their goals. They're in your community for their purposes, right? They're in your business for their purposes, not yours, right? Your goals have nothing to do with their goals from their perspective, right? Ideally, obviously, right? The more people you had who have big goals and went for it and built a big business, the faster you would get to your goals, right? I mean, certainly. However, it isn't about your goals. It's about their goals, right? So if you need more people to hit their goals to make you successful, you go find more people, right? But the reality is you have to appreciate people for who they are, where they are, what they're trying to accomplish, and you have to champion what they want to accomplish and appreciate that they give you the opportunity to serve them in that mission. And then you will have created a community of attraction where people feel good and are excited to invite people into that community. I heard a quote the other day, Peter Drucker quote, and I got this from my mentor, and I'll try to get it right for you, but it was that culture trumps strategy. Culture eats strategy for breakfast every day. In other words, you create a culture where people feel good in your community, everything will work out. People will be just excited to bring people into your community. So I hope that was helpful. Feel free to share it. Click share, send it somewhere, or email it to somebody and let someone know that can benefit from this. Or comment below, please. And if you have a question or something you'd like me to address, let me know. Coaching, training, whatever, let me know. I'm here to serve. And it's my goal to help as many people like me who came from nowhere to build something of meaning that made a difference in their life and others' lives. That's what I'm here for, to help the everyday guy create a successful business. So thanks for allowing me to be a part of your day, and wish you a great rest of your day.